Inside a city of India, the people are trying to wake up a giant monk by using the most unusual methods that they can think of. It turns out that the man's name is Tang, and he's amazed to see that everyone has become so small except for him. One of the tiny people grabs onto the monk's nose and reveals that he's actually the man's master, who's here to award the disciple for finally succeeding his goal. The people carry a massive halo towards Tang, which he accepts immediately and puts on his back, causing the magical item to shine colorfully. Tang begins to smile in hubris, and the halo quickly malfunctions, causing numerous explosions that eventually engulfs his head in black smoke. It turns out that all this was only a dream as the man wakes up from the nearby thundering clouds. In reality, Tang is actually running a circus with his demon disciples, trying to beg for any money that he can get. After finally managing to obtain his first customers, Tang shows his disciple, Zhu, to the audience, but the women become frightened by the strange man, as he wants to marry the lovely ladies right away. Tang shows them his second disciple, Wujing, but this man is even more frightening as he looks like Frankenstein's monster, who's able to bloat his head like a balloon, managing to mentally scare the baby for life. The women become furious and demands Tang to return their money and repay them for emotional damages, as all the people swarm towards the area, shaming the man for his terrible showings. The monk tries to assure the people that his last performance would make up for everything else and introduces the one and only Monkey King, Wukong. But the people watch in confusion as the man faceplants to the ground and lies down like a dead frog. Tang tries to beg the people for another chance while coughing viciously and making the audience dodge him like they are dodging COVID-19. A woman with facial hair takes pity on the man and whips out her buns as donation, but Tang has trouble accepting her gift, not sure about how long they have been there. Tired of the people's bickering, Wukong finally gets up and charges towards the audience, causing tremendous damage as he flies through the buildings like a bullet, and destroying everything while summoning a giant tornado. Tang realizes how hopeless the situation is, and runs away immediately before the people make him pay for everything that they have destroyed. After making it away from the circus, Tang whips the monkey continuously as punishment for being disobedient, causing Wukong to scream in pain from the wounds, while the other disciples watch in fear. We soon learn that the monkey was defeated by Tang after the man used the Buddhist palm against the demon, crushing him under the rocks, and giving him reoccurring nightmares ever since. The situation is made even worse as Tang cuddles Wukong every night, pretending that the monkey is the woman that he loves and making the demon's life extremely miserable. The next morning, Tang wakes up from his sleep and decides to retrieve water for his disciples, eventually venturing deeper into the woods and finding a mysterious mansion in the forest. He knocks on the door to beg for some food, and surprisingly, a beautiful woman appears to greet him and invites him to have dinner inside. Tang immediately agrees to the generous offer after seeing multiple women appearing, as they try to seduce the man with their amazing legs. Upon entering the mansion, Zhu is immediately hypnotized by the beauty of the hostesses, while Tang thanks the owner for giving them delicious meals, but the woman wants the men to stay, telling the monk that she can look after them in many other ways as well. What she doesn't realize is that Wukong has already seen through her disguise, and figured out that all the pretty girls are actually spider demons, waiting to consume his master. The Monkey King goes to the woman and demands her to show her true form, but Tang becomes enraged by this behavior and pushes all his disciples out, condemning them for their discourtesy towards the people that have treated them so well. However, the girls quickly turn into their true form and surrounds the monk with nowhere to run, as Tang begs for Wukong to come back and save his life. Luckily, the monkey is able to grab onto the monk and prevents him from being devoured while Wujing summons his weapon and takes on one of the enemies all by himself. The spider quickly launches towards the man and pins him onto the wall, while spitting into his mouth and poisoning him in the process. But Wujing is able to kill the enemy in the last moment as he barely escapes death. Meanwhile, the other monsters try to snatch away the monk as they cover the man in webs, but Wukong is able to grab onto his master and rips away the meshes, throwing the spiders into the air as the enemies crash out from the ceiling. The monkey demon manages to help Tang break the fall and quickly notices that they are surrounded by tiny spiders falling from the sky that's running into the ground. Suddenly, the entire floor begins to crumble as everyone fall into the basement of the building, eventually arriving into what appears to be a giant spider's nest. Tang investigates the area further and immediately stumbles across a massive creature made from thousands of tiny insects, revealing itself to be the final form of the spider demon. Wukong charges in quickly and punches through the enemy while grabbing onto the creature's tongue, defeating the demon in mere seconds. Tang tells the monkey to not kill the creature as he wants to transform the monster into something good, but Wukong smashes the enemy's head and slams the spider repeatedly like the Hulk, eventually turning the demon into nothing but dust. Tang becomes extremely angry at his disciple for killing lives like they are nothing, but the monkey demon doesn't feel guilty at all for his actions. They continue onto their journey away from the deadly forest, while Zhu is pulling his brother Wujing, who has reverted back to his demon form after being poisoned by the spiders. The group eventually arrives into a desert as they approach closer towards a city that's filled by people, where the decorations make it look like the Joker's version of Disneyland. Tang is amazed by the culture of the city while the people stare at them in shock, never having witnessed a sea creature that looks so much like Garfield. They are quickly stopped by a bunch of people carrying flags, and the minister of the city, Gong, emerges from the white smoke to welcome the guests. They head towards the king's palace and upon entrance, are met by a crowd of people that are dancing wildly as they try their best to entertain their leader, who's apparently acting like a giant baby. The king demands that Tang performs his magic for entertainment, but the monk immediately declines, saying that he doesn't have any abilities for show. This infuriates the king as he commands his guards to execute Tang, giving the monk no other choice but to agree to the performance. They enter into the backstage, and Wukong suggests that he uses the obedience talisman to control the monk's actions while performing. This plan greatly troubles Tang as it can either go really well and earn him a lot of praise, or make him into a parody of Magic Mike, causing all the women to faint. The monkey demon completely ignores the man's complaints and sticks the talisman on his back while pushing him out, causing Tang to fly dramatically into the stage. The people are amazed by the man's superhuman ability as he jumps around in the room, but the audience quickly becomes silenced when Tang's fear turns out to be true after all. Wukong dances ridiculously while his master is forced to follow every single move, making their audience truly speechless. The show quickly gets out of control when the monkey demon slaps Zhu on the head, causing the monk to strike the king right across the face as well. The man cries continuously in front of all his maids, while Tang apologizes profusely for the accident. However, Wukong charges towards the king in blinding speed and begins smacking the ruler continuously across the face, causing the majesty to spit out fire from his mouth and knocking the monkey across the room. Wukong is able to defend against the flames and pushes the attack away, revealing that the king is actually the red demon known as Neza, who's likely responsible for all the chaos in the kingdom. The demon throws his punches at the monkey like elastic bands, but Wukong is able to deflect the attacks easily and grabs onto the enemy while pounding Neza repeatedly on the head. The red demon becomes furious while conjuring up its magical weapons, blowing the people away by its immense aura and sending the fish monster crashing out from the building. Neza throws the rotating blades at Wukong and forces him towards the walls while trying to shred the monkey into pieces. Wukong gets knocked out from the palace, but is quickly able to deflect the attack by kicking the wheels away towards the enemy. Neza flies into the sky while carrying his gigantic blades, and begins charging up tremendous amounts of energy from his belly, which launches out towards Wukong as a sea of flames. Numerous demons jump out from the fire and charges at the monkey, as Wukong tries desperately to block the attack by creating a massive shield, which the enemies crash into repeatedly. However, the monkey demon quickly loses the power struggle and gets knocked into the palace while he crashes into the ground. Neza mocks the opponent while calling him a stinking monkey, causing Wukong to roar in fury as he pulls out the flags behind his back and lifting the entire palace into the air. The demon walks out from the building alongside his magical staff and charges towards the enemy in blinding speed, while Neza throws even more fire towards Wukong. The monkey is able to repel the attack by using his spinning flags which blow the flames away, eventually managing to overpower the red demon completely. Wukong summons 2 fireballs from his eyes and fires them at the enemy, knocking Neza away using tremendous power and sending him crashing towards the ground. Wu Jing takes the chance and freezes the enemy by using his breath, sending the red demon towards the palace and landing right under the Monkey King. Tang rushes in to capture the demon by using his sealing technique, transforming Neza into a doll and gifting it to the minister, hoping that she can turn the evil entity into something good in the future. They are also able to find the Real King inside the basement of the building, and finally releases the man back into his kingdom. In order to thank the monk for saving his life, the king has decided to offer Tang any one of his concubines as a gift. However, upon closer examination, the man notices the true nature of the women, as he's very shocked by their very unique features, and realizes why the king was so generous. Luckily, they soon see a beautiful girl amongst the crowd of nightmares, and the king demands the girl to dance for the heroes in celebration. The girl begins moving her body like a beautiful swan as all the other women watches in envy, but she quickly manages to capture the monk's attention. Tang begins remembering another woman that he loved very much from before this journey, as she also danced for him in the same way under the moonlight. The man falls in love almost immediately after observing the girl, and decides to take her alongside his journey towards India. Tang finds out that the woman's name is Bai, and the two eventually becomes very close as travel together, completely ignoring everyone else as they are consumed by love. But Wukong quickly becomes suspicious of the girl, thinking that she might actually be a demon in disguise who's trying to devour his master. The monkey tries to use the magical mirror on the woman to see through her true form, but was only able to see the reflections of a beautiful girl. In a moment of frustration, Wukong takes out a knife and cuts Bai on the wrist, getting the blood on the mirror to verify his theory, but only ends up proving the exact opposite. The monkey's actions only manages to push the monk towards the girl, but Wukong demands that they go see the woman's family, as demons cannot have any human parents. To everyone's surprise, they arrive inside the woman's house that's filled by people, and Wukong is further confused by how this is possible. Instead of conceding his ways, Wukong begins attacking everyone inside the building and throwing Bai's family into the walls, claiming that they are nothing but illusions. The monkey turns the attention towards the woman while Tang rushes in to stop his disciple, blaming the demon for trying to kill every single woman that he loves. It turns out that the woman from Tang's memory was actually killed by Wukong as she tried to protect the monk, causing a deep conflict between the two that was never resolved. The monkey turns his back towards his master and rushes out from the building, transforming into his demon form and massacring everyone in sight, trying to prove that they are all illusions. Tang quickly follows the monkey to stop the madness, but only manages to witness the terrible aftermath that's caused by the demon's rampage. Wukong laughs at how delusional the monk is and begins walking towards the man, planning to kill Bai so that Tang can finally see the truth. But the man refuses to let the monkey murder any more innocent people. He tries to fight the demon by using his Buddha palm technique, but Wukong is able to overpower him easily and begins striking his master using his weapon. Seeing that Tang is about to be killed, the woman begs the monkey to let the man go, admitting that she's actually a demon like he suspected, and that the entire town was created by her magic. However, her confessions did not temper Wukong's anger as he transforms into the rocky version of King Kong that towers over all the buildings. The monkey grabs onto the monk and devours him alive, while Bai tries desperately to save her lover. The giant demon roars furiously and jumps towards the nearby mountain, eventually climbing to the top and dropping off the woman by accident. Suddenly, a loud voice can be heard from the distance which turns out to be the minister Gong, who levitates towards the mountain top alongside the red demon, Neza. It turns out that she was actually the true mastermind behind the kingdom's chaos, and she planned to use Bai to turn Wukong against the monk, so that she can finally take vengeance on the people for disrupting her rulership. What she doesn't realize is that Wukong never ate his master and the monk is actually unharmed. They knew that Bai was a demon from the very start, and only pretended to play along so that they can find the real culprit that was causing chaos in the city. Realizing that their cover is blown, the minister orders the red demon to attack the people immediately, but Wujing is able to freeze the enemy by using his magic, which allows Wukong to destroy the little monster by smashing him into pieces, as he roars furiously at the enemy. Gong conjures all her powers and summons a shockwave towards the team, knocking away everyone except for Wukong, who manages to resist her immense energy while protecting his master by using his tail. The monkey demon launches at the enemy viciously and smashes into the mountain, but Gong is able to evade the attack and escapes onto her flying cloud. Wukong chases quickly after the woman and breaks through the mountain that was thrown his way, but only to see that the demon has summoned a giant Buddha alongside the raging tsunami. The monkey demon takes out his magical staff and prepares to push back the waves, while the woman forces all the water towards Wukong by controlling the statue's giant palms. Surprisingly, the monkey is able to overpower the enemy and knock back the attack, giving him the chance to jump onto his flying nimbus as he tries to approach the Buddha. However, the enemy is deceivingly quick, managing to hit the monkey demon as it bombards Wukong with a barrage of energy blasts, forcing him to run desperately from the attacks. Very soon, more statues rise out from the ocean and surround the monkey with nowhere to run, as each of them possesses a different element within their halos. They begin to attack Wukong together from all sides, trapping the stone monkey inside the elemental waves as he struggles in pain from the crushing energies. Just when the enemy is about to finish the kill, a colossal arm launches out from the water and grabs onto the statues, releasing Wukong in the process and destroying the false Buddhas altogether. It turns out that Tang has finally decided to use the Buddha palm on enemy, completely defeating the woman as she falls into the monkey's hand. A massive aura materializes in front of the team, as the real Buddha appears to congratulate the people for capturing one of his disciples, who turns out to be a golden phoenix that was able to escape from the heavens, and cause chaos on humanity. They return back to the mountains and sees that Bai has been severely wounded from the fight between the demons. Tang tries to comfort the woman by helping her transcend into the next life, but the demon only wants to know if the monk has ever truly loved her. Tang reveals that he can no longer love anyone else, as there can only be one woman inside his heart, and she has died a long time ago. Hearing the man's response, the girl dies with tears in her eyes, as she vanishes into the other world and her body is turned into dust. Sometime later, the team resumes their journey towards India so that they can finally recover the scriptures, while Tang continues to see his true love in his vision, who's always going to be by his side.